Hello viewers of YouTube, and today I may have to delete some videos, so this may cut off, but I'm gonna post this first part anyway, however much I can get. Pretty much I'm in the makings of another short story, and I kind of want to read you in a little bit on kind of the vibe that you're gonna be getting from it. Now it's about a real life zombie apocalypse, but realistic. Like this could happen any second of any day. Empirically, like you could do the research, you can do whatever, but how it works is it's kind of synthetic zombies. It's not real undead zombies. It's definitely metaphorical. However, it kind of based on the stereotypical red room serial killer, the people you see on the dark net who murder people. However, if you look really closely at their victims, a lot of them are not murder for hire. A lot of them are taking what they find vermin. So typically you're going to see serial killers kidnap mostly homeless people. Yes, some have a specific type and they'll go after those, but this is mainly for the stereotypical red room serial killer who really just doesn't really have any other reason other than the majority, the world as a whole. So, but I'm debating if I should make it a she because, but as I read you into it, you'll see why I'm drawing a he as the character. It just seems more of a he thing. But I was pondering on a woman is the thing, so I'll let you decide. I mean, I can go through and use the frickin' Google replace word throughout entire text mod on it, which is really, really nice. Change her to him. Well, I mean, you can pick too, I think. You know what I mean. But, so anyway, so basically it's a real life zombie apocalypse, and this person just kidnaps homeless people and government officials who are obviously corrupt. So it's your stereotypical serial killer, if that makes any sense. But the serial killer who mainly does it just for the amusement, because this type of serial killer also just has an amusement side. He's like, you know what? Somebody has to do something about this, and I'm gonna do it. But, I might as well have some fun with it, because, So also, but aside from him having fun with it, he's also a serial killer, so they're exponentially smart. So he's pondering about, how could I know this will work? So what he does is he takes the people he finds trash to society. Sometimes I'll throw in some personal people just to spice things up in it a bit, and he'll throw them in there. But there'll also be boss battles. The normal ones he kind of puts through the well-known CIA LSD trials, along with dangerous street drugs such as typically known for zombifying people, ketamine, flakka, a little, maybe some painkillers so they don't feel pain. But he puts them through a moderated dose so they kind of build up this kind of perma-strength. Because once you take pills for a while, for a while, it kind of lingers on a little bit, especially when you take a large quantity. It lingers for a couple days, maybe a week if it's your first time, and then after that, you're gone. But he was thinking about that too, so he's thinking, well, after that first time, they're going to have it, and that's going to be a lot of money. So he typically sticks with the cheaper, more dangerous street drugs, plus they're just more volatile in what they can do. They're just so sporadic and spontaneous with the effects, feeds the Molly. But typically not so much Molly, because he also thinks about that too, because he's thinking he doesn't want them ripped, like Vietnamese. He wants people to actually kill off. So he wants to make it fun for the people who can survive and know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So any half-wit can survive. That's what he wants. He just wants these people gone right now, and then he'll do the others later if need be. he's thinking hopefully after this people will get grip on reality for at least another couple 100,000 years. So he's definitely got kind of like this Messiah type personality, but that's not his mindset. He's saying, I know where I'm going, I know who I am, but I'll be the martyr here in a point. He's kind of seen himself as a self-righteous martyr, but it's like, I know after I do this, this will work for a long while, because this is what everybody's been talking about. It just fits, and I was thinking about that too, and I'm like, wow, that's genius. Everybody's into zombies, The Walking Dead, and I figure, by then, The Walking Dead's going to be watered down all of zombiedom, and then, zombiedom, so I figured this would be kind of like the final. You know what? It's something different, something way off topic from The Walking Dead. Let's give it a try. If it sucks, it sucks. It's the end of zombies anyway. But if it, I figured that would be my go. This would be my go. So I figured that just worked out perfectly. And so what he's thinking is, no Molly, nothing like uppers, no uppers, except for boss battles, because he knows he wants to have fun, and this is kind of where he's thinking, these people he dope up with steroids and Molly, not so much LSD, however, just strictly kind of your more drugs with an aggressive tone and on steroids, because he wants them to see the people they hurt, he doesn't want them to cloudy. Yes, drugs like LSD help you through suss things differently and get you through rough times, but in deep, dark depressions and PTSD. But that's also through intensive therapy and in moderated doses, mind you. He doesn't want them to trip balls, and them he actually does put through the LSD trials, but he tries to get them to understand, and the people he do understand, he lets them go. But sorry, homeless people, he just doesn't care about the homeless people. But the crazy violent one, there's like one crazy violent woman. I think that's where I'm going to throw the woman character in, because I really want a woman character to be at least a part of it. So I'm going to make him meet one crazy homeless woman. So homeless people, there is hope with this guy if you're a girl. And then I'm thinking about naming her, there's this girl I like, she's obvious Mexican. But, so I figured, I'll make her like a homeless, Hispanic woman, I'm thinking that. And then, yeah, so I'll do that. But he falls in love with her because, I'll explain that, all the personalities, I'm just going to explain this dude. So you get the feel of the vibe, of what to expect. I'm not going to get into the characters yet. I got to write them down. First of all, I'm not going to blurt out ideas, tell you, and then have absolutely the exact opposite or something written down. I don't want to do that. So don't think I'm being an asshole with how I'm going to make you wait until I'm done. No. I don't want to fuck myself over because I'm going to have to watch this over and over. It's probably going to be a little lengthy video, so whatever. But, so, he meets her, and then she kind of, like, helps, him out, she's white, but she has a different tone, and she actually kind of gets him doing it, but even more focused, he's kind of looking more at the good people, he's not killing so much of the good people, so it kind of has a change of heart, but he also gets just as more brutal to the people who do, because now he's got a lot of pent-up anger. Before, he was just taking it out on everybody, because he's like, enjoy, motherfucker. Enjoy. But then he gets more aggressive. He gets so much more placated when she comes, more... He becomes more calm, more docile, But he also grows more... I definitely emphasize Freudianism here. Surreality plus reality equals your ego. Whatever those points weigh out to be, that's your ego. Who you are. I definitely touch on that there. So he has this really... Before, he was just, moderate as like, alright, just homeless people... Which is still bad, a lot of homeless people are good people, and they got homeless for other... But a lot of serial killers also kind of, they have, serial killers kind of know what they're doing, but nowadays serial killers are like modern day gangsters. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're not like Jack the Ripper, they're more like H.H. Holmes, if that makes sense. I mean, H.H. Holmes, he just lashed out. I mean, Jack the Ripper, he definitely had mommy issues, but I mean, Hannibal Lecter had a bit more sense, and he was just, no, he was just whatever. But, I mean, Hitler had more sense. Well, Hitler had more sense than H.H. Holmes, even though Hitler was stupid in comparison. But anyway, and so, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So, because he's thinking like, yes, it shouldn't just be the strong, because, he's thinking, this is how it was before society, let's see who actually would survive if society were to collapse. So he's thinking 2 for 1, it's like fire drill. Very awful one, but... and then he said he knows maybe we are to evolve out of this eventually, but he knows we need something more drastic, and that's what he's pondering. We need something more. Yes, eventually we need a war to end all wars, and he's thinking, yes, we will evolve out of this aggression age. Yes, I know this, but we need a bit of a shove in the right direction. We need to pretty much have a gun to our head and then beaten out of the... We need to pretty much be blown out of the nest, pretty much with a nuke. But, so that's pretty much what he's doing, but he just wants it to be really easy in the beginning, though. And then the boss battles... And then he has the boss battles in specific locations, so they're not accidentally gonna get out, He watches, he watches the news, he's looking at people, he's like, alright, I'll give you your chance. He gives you, and then he'll give you, like, a chance to back down, but, if you don't back down in the time period, he has a time period because not many people can survive longer than the time period, and if you can live longer, then the next person gets a longer time. That's how he does it. Not really. He does it shorter each time. But, well, no, longer, because he wants the strongest to survive, and if you can survive longer, then... Yeah, survive longer. Yeah, I was right. First thought, best thought. My bad, people. I'm thinking if you're keeping score, but I got confused with that. I'm like, no, this isn't keeping score. He's trying to test endurance. We want to see how long people can really live. And then once people can survive up to a certain amount of time, he's like, the thing is, you have to survive a set amount of time before you can back out. And he says, alright. You're smart enough to know when to back out. I'll call him off. Because he wants the smart people to live too. Because throughout the entire thing, it's kind of trials. He's testing people. But, he wants them to actually test their limits. He wants them to progress. He wants to evolve. Because if you just wheedle out everything, you're breeding super breeds. But then he's thinking, but if I'm doing that, then there's going to be a lot of inbreeding in a sense, if you know what I mean, because there's fewer, so there's going to be a lot of inbreeding. So he wants a majority to survive, so there's diversity, but because he wants diversity, so he's partial genocide, definitely. I mean, he's a serial killer, he's a massive serial killer, and he's a worldwide serial killer. He's actually eventually known as the unofficial ruler of the world. But nobody knows who he is because nobody knows where the zombies are coming from. They just think it's a super crazy worldwide epidemic. And I mean, and that's what he's thinking too. Well, you know, there's also a worldwide epidemic with all these drugs, and who's to say? And the numbers are growing fast. And he's looking. He does research. I have him do intensive research in the book because he's so meticulous. But you know, like I said in the beginning, he's like, I'm gonna take pride in this because I want it done right. Because clearly nobody else can do it, so I'm gonna do it. You know, but I'm gonna be calm through this because I need to think shit through, and it's like half the time he just doesn't give a fuck. Sometimes shit goes wrong, but after he finds this homeless chick, that's when he becomes this Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, and, but he's more meticulous. He's definitely not like, he wants it to work this time, though. He's still calm, but it's like subliminal, this emotion, if that makes sense. It's just eluding from him, more or less, not actually his actions. Instead of the emotions meaning the actions in this novel, the emotions are going to mean the emotions, and the actions mean the actions. They are completely separated. You could relate, but you'll notice a lot of complications with trying to do that. And I don't do that on purpose, because I know it's just how I write, because I know what I'm trying to emphasize. So whatever they do is what they do. You need to be a honest, strictly honest, earnest honest, I say what I mean and I mean what I mean type person when you read this. It's like kind of like Bob's Burgers, where they're direct. You know, they just come right out with the punchline. Same with Archer. Yeah, Archer has a different tone to it. You know, Bob is a whole nother vibe. And I think that's what they try to do with Archer. Just give a different vibe, you know. But and then Family Guy is so subliminal with their satire, you know, South Park. And then Family Guy and South Park, you know, one's more crass. Sorry, South Park, but you're probably gonna embrace that anyway. How do we know you're not secretly preaching Mormonism? Because we know all Mormons are part of a cult. I should know. I should know. So people, when you watch South Park, you may be secretly being brought into the Mormon church. It's really not a bad church, I mean. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm hitting 20 minutes. But let me know what y'all think, and let me know. I think I'm going to be dead set on putting the homeless chicken there. Definitely. But yeah, everybody. So it's going to be my next short story. It's going to be 12 to 20 pages, I think. Really short, but I'm going to make a collection. So, like, that's the direction I wanted to go with, because I thought it was new, and then it's just such genius. And then maybe in the future I'll post a few script lines. I was supposed to do that this episode, but I thought, you know what, let's kind of see where it's going, actually. Let's not get our hopes set and then have nowhere to go. Let's make sure we have somewhere to go, you know, draw a map first. Have a plan. So that's what I did here. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Fluffly Wuffly out. I'm literally gonna have my author name be Fluffly Wuffly too. Hells yeah.